Yo, what is good, you guys? This is Marl from the Project Lamb Life, and today, as shown, we have a look on Kobe's new signature sneaker. It is in the Kobe 8 Protro Wolf Grey. Now, first and foremost, I'd just like to thank each and every single one of you that is tuning in into today's video. Yes, we finally get our hands on a Kobe pair for retail, and so today we're going to talk exactly about that sneaker. We're going to talk about the ins and outs of the sneaker, sizing, my pros and cons with the sneaker, and if whether or not this sneaker is for you. So stay tuned for that. And before we get right into the unboxing and detailed review, first and foremost, if this is the first video that you are watching from the channel, I highly do suggest that you subscribe if you're into fashion, sneaker, and travel content. And if you happen to like today's video, give this video a thumbs up as well. Now, one final thing before I forget, the Kobe 8 Protro Wolf Grey released here in the country, in the Philippines, on September 23rd. I was able to cop this pair right over here over the Nike app, and it retailed for 9,895 pesos. I do believe that equates to $180 over there in the US. And I do know that we had a massive restock over the weekend. So today is October 7th. So over the weekend, Nike in the Philippines did release a statement saying that they are going to do a restock for these sneakers. Not only this and this pack, apart from this Wolf Grey colorway, I do believe that there was also the University Red colorway and the Navy one. And I did see over the weekend when I went over to the Nike shop that they did also restock the home and away colors. So if you guys are here in the country, or I don't know if your local retailer are going to do a restock as well, but they are going to do a restock on these, so you still can get your hands on these for retail. And with that being said, let's just go straight down to the review. Alrighty, getting down into the review, starting off with the shoebox that it came with. As you can see, it is a familiar look, very common with most Kobe's shoes these days. We have an all black shoebox with some details. As you can see, taking a look closer, we have the scale snake-like pattern right over here running all along the shoebox, as you can see. But right over here at the top first, we have this glossy Kobe logo as well as its signature right over here, all in the center. And moving our eyes over to the size tag of the shoe. Now reading out this model, it does say that this is the Kobe 8 Protro, and the official colorway is Wolf Grey / White Wolf Grey. And as you can see, we managed to cop our true to size 13. Now we will get down into sizing after the review, so stay tuned for that. But getting down into the unboxing. Now from first glance, what I can say to you guys is that this is a pretty clean colorway of the Kobe 8 Protro. Now for me, I think that this is definitely one of the top 3 colorways of the Kobe 8 to release this year, and something that just stands out from that team pack. Now we did get the red colorway as well as the navy colorway. I did plan on getting the navy colorway first, but just getting these on hand, looking at them on hand, this is a pretty clean colorway. Now getting down into the sneakers itself. So starting off with the upper of the sneaker, as you can see, most of it is made up in this engineered mesh material. And as you can see here in the gray colorway, we could actually see more details of how that engineered mesh is worked. As you can see, we do have some little perforations as well as some big perforations that aid with that ventilation. Now starting off right over here at the toe, as you can see, one detail that most people actually don't see because of the colorway is that there's actually the KB24 text that is done in that mesh material. And I think that is a pretty cool touch. And with the Wolf Grey colorway, again, you will be able to see it right from the get-go. Now, one thing that you would notice is that running all along the mudguard is that we have this sort of material. This is a TPU plastic-like material that runs alongside the mudguard, and that is to help with the dragging that most hoopers do, and this will help with the sneaker's longevity. Now moving up, we do have these gray flat shoelaces that are pretty thick. They are made of pretty good quality, I would say, from the touch, and they match very well with the colorway of the sneaker. They really did their job with the color of the shoelaces matching with the upper. Now underneath all that, we do have this gray tongue, which does feel like it is made out of some leather. I do feel like it is more of that synthetic leather material though. It is not the best quality. It is smooth to the touch. Now taking a look over at the top of the tongue, we do have the Kobe logo. As you can see here, it is in white and it appears to be stitched on. Now moving our eyes over to the lateral side of the shoe, first thing that you would be able to notice right from the get-go is this big Nike swoosh. And as you can see, it is also embroidered in white. and I do really like how they made it into a single pattern. So as you can see, and you would be able to notice that it is the same stitching that was made right over here at the top of the tongue. Now moving our eyes over to the lateral side of the shoe, we don't have this big Nike swoosh here anymore. However, it is now found right over here nearing the heel of the shoe. Now getting down into the back of the shoe, as you can see, what connects this small Nike swoosh right over here at the medial side is that we have more of the synthetic leather material. And now moving our eyes over back to the lateral side, we do have this heel counter that has this Kobe logo signature. It is also in white, and it is debossed. Now getting down into the heel of the sneaker, we do have more of that synthetic leather material, as you can see, and what overlaps this is that TPU heel counter. It is of a different shade of gray, and I really do like that they changed the color of the gray right over here at the heel counter, as it gives this sneaker a very cohesive look. Underneath that, as you can see, we still have that Kobe logo that is overlapped by this heel counter, and it is in white. Now moving our eyes over to the inside of the sneaker, we do have a gray sock liner. It is pretty well padded, it is pretty thick to the touch, and there's no much complaints here as it continues on to the tongue as well. And now getting down into what I consider to be the most exciting factor of this sneaker, it is this drop-in insole. Now for this particular colorway, the Wolf Grey colorway, it does come in this gray drop-in insole. And right from the get-go, what you would notice is that we have these sort of diamond-like protrusions that run alongside the insole, which runs along until the heel. And we do have the Kobe logo right over here at the heel. Now this drop-in insole is actually made out of some Nike React foam, so it is different from the OG pair way back then. And as you can see, it does have a little bit of stiffness to it initially, so I do feel like you will have to break this in a little bit, but it does feel really bouncy, really firm as well. So I think this is a really good foam material that they use for this sneaker. Now what caught my attention while looking at this is that there seems to be these 4 emblems that are present here at the drop-in insole. It is also present right over here at the toe of the sneaker itself, and it sort of piqued my interest to research what these symbols are. Now based from my research, these 4 symbols actually mean something. So this means accuracy, this means speed, this is vision, and this is focus. And I do think that these 4 symbols do represent Kobe Bryant's game, so this is a pretty cool touch. Not a lot of people are going to notice this actually, but I did see it and it just piqued my interest. So for you guys who noticed this on their pairs, this is what it means. And taking a look over at the back of the drop-in insole, we do have a pretty standard pattern right over here. And again, it does mention the Nike React foam technology. Now that we're done with the upper of the shoe, let's move on to the midsole. And as you can see, it does come in this nice tonal gray. Again, it does add to that entire depth look of the sneaker just because it is made out of a different shade of gray. It is made out of some nice foam as well. And taking a look over here at the heel part, what caught my eye again is that we have this sort of braille right over here running alongside the heel. And according to my research, this is supposed to be some sort of a Kobe code. I'm not exactly sure if it is something different from braille, but when I translated it, it does say chase perfection. So that is what this heel portion is supposed to mean. And again, a pretty cool touch. Taking a look over at the medial side, you would actually be able to see that carbon fiber plate that is placed right over here at the midfoot, and it does continue on to the outsole. Now finally getting down into the outsole, we do have our standard Kobe 8 Protro outsole with that herringbone pattern right over here as well. And as you can see that the carbon foot plate extends right over here at the midfoot. It is glossy, and again, pretty cool touch. It is a pretty good contrast to the sneaker. And again, we do have our Kobe logo right over here at the heel, and it is in gray. And before I forget, we do have one last tiny detail of the Kobe logo right over here as well. Now overall, the Kobe Protro Wolf Grey is actually a pretty decent sneaker. It is a sneaker that I think people should buy if they can cop it for retail, which should be pretty easy in these days. I do believe that this sneaker is going to be very popular, not just in the courts, but in the gyms as well. I will be able to play with these and even go to the gym in these. So this is a pretty good sneaker to buy, again, if you can cop it for retail. And with that, that's about it. Let's go back into the studio where I can tell you guys more about sizing. And we are back, and I hope that you guys enjoyed all of that. And now we are going to get down into the most important aspect for today's video, for which I do believe it is, and that is sizing. When I first put these on feet, when I first laced them up, I did sort of feel like they did fit me lengthwise, However, I did feel a lot of snug width-wise. I've been telling you guys that my foot is, I would say, on the average scale. So that being said, it is not too wide nor is it too narrow. And so when I put these on, it did feel like it does fit me well lengthwise. However, on the width-wise, it did feel a little bit cramped up. I did talk to one of the salesperson over at Nike over the weekend when I told you guys that they did the restock, and all of them said that that is the normal fit of the Kobe 8s. I don't know because I never had a pair of Kobe 8s back then, but they did tell me that over time, as you wear it is supposed to break in. Now, I don't know if that is true, but I will be trying to break these in today. Hopefully, I can get you guys some B-rolls or updates as well in the future. Now, if I were to give my final sizing opinion on these particular sneakers right here, I would say for you to still stick true to your size. Now, why is that? It is because lengthwise, it does feel like every other sneaker that I've owned from Nike. They fit very similar to this. However, it will just feel a lot snuggier at first when you put it on. Now, I would not recommend this to wide-footed individuals just because of that. And I know that for most people, they would try to size up or size up half of that. But for this particular sneaker, I just don't see it giving off that much width-wise. And so with that, what are my final thoughts with the Kobe 8 Wolf Grey? I do think that this is one of the top colorways of the batch so far. Just because of that neutral gray, I do believe that it can match with almost any outfit you have, especially when you're on the court. I do feel like the technology is still there, especially with that carbon foot shank right over here at the midfoot. I like how Nike still tried to stay true to the Kobe 8 silhouette. And again, I just love getting pairs for retail, so this is a good cop for me. And if you guys are planning to get one of these for yourself, it is supposed to be fairly easy for you guys as long as you do your work. And with that, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Once again, this has been Marl from the Project Lamb Life, reminding you guys to always keep safe out there, and God bless.